the continuation of our stream series Boycott Qatar 2022, where I try and stream every time simultaneously to when there is a World Cup match live currently. And today we had a stream this morning, and then I had to go away help my mother plant some trees. It was a nice time, and so now we are back with our evening stream. We're going to stream the entire way through the match, which is going on right now. And yeah, so if you didn't know about our stream series, we're basically trying to, I am boycotting Qatar 2022. You don't have to, you do whatever you want. Anyone's invited to this stream, of course. I am boycotting it. I am trying to raise a bit of money for migrants' rights organizations, but hopefully similar situation for migrant workers as they were ahead of the Qatar 2022 World Cup, with people dying, people living in inhuman living conditions and working for a slave's loan wage, which they didn't even all receive yet. Don't happen again, and hopefully, moved out as well. They're trying to raise some money for migrantsrights.org. I am going to donate at the end of the stream day. I always try to donate at the beginning of the stream day, end of the stream day. As you can see, we already raised 85 euros out of a goal of 750. If we reach more, honestly, perfect. More is always good. So yeah, this is kind of the stream series. Welcome. And to move on to something a bit more lighthearted, obviously, this is all about Football Manager. And we are coach of the Police Service of Northern Ireland currently in the third tier of Northern Irish football. We have just finished last season. We finished in second, so we were in a promotion playoff spot. Even though it was the season we just joined, and they were predicted to finish bottom of it, we've done incredibly well. Sadly, we were unable to win the promotion playoff match against Newington. We lost in the cup final too, so it was a heartbreaking end to the season. We have gotten into transfers early on this morning. Let's actually have a quick look at what has been going on in there. So at the end of last season, we still lost Louis Wilson, Kobe Hunt, and Jordan Diver. These were all like backup rotation players, not anything worth mentioning too much. We have, however, losing Jordan Diver, our backup right back, already replaced him with two different players. Kevin Brownlee came in initially, and I confirmed the deal, thinking I don't know if we're going to get anyone better or anything like that in. He's a backup right back. He's okay physical, okay mentals, okay technicals, or the 3 fast touch is just painful for me to watch. Scared he's going to give the ball away cheaply and lead to us conceding a goal. So when the opportunity came up and our director of football recommended or gave us the option to also sign Elliot Wood, we decided to just bring another right back in. And, you can't ever have too much cover. Craig Bryars is going to continue to start in that position, but Elliot Wood just looks that little bit better. Also, has got a good head screwed onto his body with a fairly determined personality, media-friendly handling style. He's just a bit better than Craig Bryars going forward. Going back, obviously, Craig Bryars is a beast. So those movements and at fullback. And we have also already gotten in a winger down that left-hand side. Now, in the scouting report, he was rated at like 2.5 star. I don't know why he came in and just as 1 star, but we compared him to Nicholas Turkington today, and in the relevant attributes for being a good winger, he's actually going to be our starting option for now. Obviously, I wouldn't complain if our backroom staff decide to find another option and bring a new guy in ahead of the both of them. But for now, James Clark, we're going to consider him to be like our starting left winger. So that's all the movements. We are, of course, hoping to still get some improvements in that right wing spot where we've got only Bradley Yip and no replacements for him. And maybe in a striker, hopefully in a defensive midfielder spot. And yeah, then we'll just see what the backroom staff offer us. And I think, without any further ado, we can start progressing through. And hopefully we'll also get towards the start of the season in this stream. We'll see how much we progress. As obviously, first you have to do when you start a stream, you have to like your own YouTube stream. Because anyone who doesn't do that, like if you don't like your own stream, your own videos, who else will? What I'm thinking. Yeah, and then we're just going to sit here awkwardly whilst we go through the off-season. Pre-season starts very late in Northern Ireland, it's like towards the end of July, because the season only starts towards the end of August. So it's going to take a while as Mr. Marcus Whitford's contract expires. A couple of players left us as well with their contract expiring. No, actually not. No, it's just Mark Whitford's contract expiring. The other 3 players left on transfers, we saw them already. Hey, Hassan, already back around. Welcome back, my friend. As Knockbrader have made an approach to sign Ben Mitchell. They have just gotten relegated to this level, and I'm kind of scared that he'll be tempted by them, because we did just move him down to be a squad player, and he initially wasn't happy about that. He has accepted that by now, and look at all the interest in him from teams of our league, actually. Knockbrader, the first to bid in, and he's been an okay player, not too good a player for us. I was very frustrated with his 6 jumping reach and 4 strength, and towards the end of last season he dropped off in form. Yeah, so apparently we've already offered him a new contract. We'll see what the director of football, if he can work his magic and keep him around, but I would not want to keep Ben Mitchell around on more than a squad player status, to be honest. But I would love to keep him around, because for a rotational option for our team, he's fantastic. And if we do lose him, like any backup we have, the centre backs, is a big step down in terms of quality. And all of a sudden, centre back, which was the least of our worries, we had like 6, 7, 8 okay options in that position, could turn into a big one, because we already lost Louis Wilson as well. But I think we should, like, even if Ben Mitchell have enough numbers to cover it up, obviously quality will suffer a little bit, but maybe we can then look elsewhere and invest that money elsewhere. Although I'm not sure if we're paying him anything. He's here on a non-contract or an amateur contract. But I don't know. Actually, with Mark Whitford leaving, that leaves not a single player who's here on a part-time contract. Everyone is going to be around on non-contracts, or how do you call that? Or amateur contracts, sorry. So they're not getting paid like a fixed wage. They only get paid like if they have a non-contract for every time they play. If they have an amateur contract, they don't get paid at all. It looks a little bit like we're having some loading problems. Like some stream problems, but I think we're fine. I think it was just a moment on Twitch. Let me know in the chat if anything's going on, if the stream isn't coming through clearly. Let's see what any more movement on Ben Mitchell. So he's wanted by basically everyone in our league, 5 teams. They are all in and around us in terms of the preseason prediction. Knockbrader is probably the biggest one of the lot, having just gotten relegated up to the 2nd tier of Northern Ireland. I don't really think any of the teams are like that much bigger than us that he thinks he needs to go there. But if they obviously offer him more match time and maybe a bit more money as well, then I would fully understand if he wants to leave. We're mostly fine, only a few hiccups in terms of stream. Okay, thank you very much for the update. We'll keep an eye on it. If it becomes unbearable, please do let me know. I have, as you would have guessed, of course, not managed to update the faces, put the face pack in between streams. Hopefully I'll be able to do it until tomorrow. Actually, talking about tomorrow, I'm not sure when I'm streaming tomorrow. Let me check that. Let's have a look. Twitch. See, I need to check my own schedule to know when I'm streaming. Perfectly prepared. I'm having a look at my second screen in case you're wondering why you can't see it. Schedule, there it is. Okay, so I'm planning to stream tomorrow, apparently. The late afternoon game and the evening game. So from 5 to 7 and from 10 to 8. I think we'll 8 to 10. I think we'll stick with that, but maybe we'll do like today the morning game and then the evening match. We'll see. And it's the 1st of July. It's going to be a big loading time. Yeah, that's true. So we've got a lot of hints and tips to read through, as we love doing that when we're loading through. Donningson's pre-season report, they're predicted to finish fast after finishing, what was that, 3rd behind us on goal difference last season. They look like they have their squad in order already. Well, can't really judge too much from this screen. Niall Johnson to study for coaching qualification. He's the assistant manager for the B team. So it's very important that we send him out on a coaching course and make him better than one people management, one player ability, and one player potential. It's not actually, but priorities as we get our first coaching license. Let's go. Look at that. And that finally our reputation proves up to 10% now. Very, very nice. You got the national C license. We're not immediately going to ask for another one. Focus on our craft. Don't want to progress artificially too much by getting on the coaching licenses. I said 1 per season, and I kind of count this season alongside the last one because we just joined halfway through. I'll keep it calm. Let's see what what that's done to our attribute. We've got 6 motivating now. Let's go. Full determination, full defending, full mental. Wow, we're going up in this world. And 4 people management. It's fantastic. Our relationship, especially best opinion held of us is Adrian Whiteside. Okay, I entered some other managers. Is that Mark Whitford doesn't like me? Don't quite get that. Why does Mark Whitford not like me? Because I didn't offer him a new contract. I'm sorry, friend, but suck it up. As P.S.N.I said for New Forge Lane. Okay, the Border Glare to announce that P.S.N.I have completed the current ground arrangement and are now in a position to play at New Forge Lane. The board are looking forward to a slight boost in attendance. New Forge Lane in Belfast was built in 2023, so it's officially built. The stadium has room for 1,000 supporters, to potentially be expanded to a 4,000 capacity. Oh no, we're saying goodbye to the dub. Newly built stadium, just for us. Apparently it's eligible for the UEFA Youth League, or it's going to happen there. Okay. These are all the competitions which might happen there. Interesting. But we were ground sharing with our bitter rivals, Queen's University, and we didn't realize until this morning's stream that that's not actually our stadium. The one we shared with them, not like normally our stadium, that we're building a new one. And obviously it was called the Dub. It was a beautiful time. Sadly, we're leaving the Dub and we're moving into our own stadium, New Forge Lane, with 1,000 capacity, 112 of them seated. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool, but Mark Whitford has left, which leaves us, how much money does that leave us? We are currently spending 129 euros per week, and we have 307 in the wage budget. So we've got way over half of that to spend still. So let's get to it, Mr. Director of Football, please. Yeah, we don't have the Dub anymore. The only time we're going to be going back to the Dub is when we go away to Queen's University, which is a fun occasion, but I would have liked to see more. We'll restart the scouting focus until they sign someone for that, please. Brendan Nielsen comes up with a recommendation. Apparently, we need a new defensive midfielder. William Rory's injury seemed out for a long time, and as I said a couple of times already, I think it will seem out of football at this level entirely. And the backup option we have for that defensive midfielder role are not very good. At least not at the level they need to be if we want to have anything to do with promotion this season, which obviously we do, considering we finished second last season. It has to be the demand. And we'll be able to be back in a promotion push this year. When viewing a team screen or person list, bid icon indicates that the club has made a transfer offer for the player. Interesting, yes, we knew that much. I love the hints and tips stuff. You know, I say it all the time. When you don't have anything to do whilst you're going through the game, read them, because sometimes there's really, really good information in there you wouldn't have known about. It's really like small things to make you better in the game. I mean, this is a kind of obvious one. I feel like we all know this one. Sometimes there's just things in there which are fantastic. So we lost 6,000 this month. We're already down to a 7,600 balance again. I feel like the club is operating at quite a significant loss. We saw it in last season and this season already. The only reason why we finished with such a high bank balance is because we got to the cup final and got a lot of money for that. But we can't rely on that saving us every time. And I feel like the loss we make currently, we can't even make up for that, finishing for all, qualifying for all the cup finals. Because the thing is that our director of football has just been freely bringing in backroom staff and giving them, you know, not huge wage packages, but not the smallest. And I think it's just not something our club can quite stem. Why is the club being lost? Yeah, as I just said, the director of football has brought in a lot of backroom staff, which is not necessarily the smartest thing to do at this level. You know, we have like 3 scouts, and we don't necessarily need that. We're paying assistant manager, and a coach and a B team. But obviously he's in charge of those things. One problem though is that they have cut down our available coaches for the first team from, I think there was 2 allowed to 1. However, we already had 5 in there. So now currently we're 1 coach over, as we are through to the 1st of July. But, you know, we can't bring anyone else in. I'm going to ask again if I can already. If we can now. Coaching staff allowed, police service of Northern Ireland. It would be nice to have a bit more staff in, because we used to be atop of a lot of these metrics, but because we had to get rid of some of our coaches, We have now dropped quite significantly there. So I'm guessing that's why the club's making losses. I'm not sure. We are, as you can see, we're the best in the scout department. And yeah, because we've not been playing football for so long now, we don't get any regular income from them, from like match day revenues and maybe prize money or anything like that. So it's going to be a couple of months of making a loss, and then we'll see if in the season it kind of keeps a balance or not. This K Wardlow, a left back option, comes in here. Regular starter. Peter McCroden has picked him up. We will make our final decision here. We have our veto in terms of transfer. We can only say no. I am pretty confident he would definitely be the best left back we have at the club, but is he enough of an upgrade that we want to get him in? I do believe so, but let's just do the comparison. Starting with Riddle, Nathan Riddle. There he is. As you can see, Nathan Riddle is a bit of a more kind of well-rounded player, but K Wardlow has got those physical attributes on him because he's 22, whereas Riddle is 34 and dropping massively in those physicals. Wardlow is a bit injury prone, it doesn't like big matches, doesn't have a lot of determination. So those are signs I don't like. The main thing is, can he bring it on the pitch? Let's have a look at the attributes. So yeah, you can see clearly here, physical difference is huge, and also Wardlow might still get better at that, whilst Riddle is just going to keep on dropping. 13 pace is also a very nice asset in a fullback. That, you know, the mental stats, he loses out on most of them. Work rate is the only one where he matches him down here. Riddle also needs to be considered is our vice captain, and with Warrior captain being out of the first team picture, it might make sense to force him to stay within that first team picture. 5 positioning for Wardlow, 8 flair, determination is down at 4, 12 decisions. I like a good set of decisions. And here in technicals, this is kind of like, you know, Riddle is very much an outlier of the kind of quality on the ball for a left back at this level. We shouldn't expect to find anything that compares to him. So I feel like Wardlow is a good option for that anyways. Also the set pieces we lose out on with Riddle, although they were never that special, to be fair. Marking, he's a bit better. Tackling and technique is definitely Wardlow's strength. So I kind of feel like Wardlow would be a good signing, he'd make us better. But I think if we reject it, then we're more likely to be looking for other options. Can Riddle play further up and Wardlow play left back? Yes, Riddle can play all the way down the line. So we might have him as like a backup option down that left-hand side in the winger spot. And Wardlow stay there. I don't think Riddle is capable of playing in central areas, although he might be. I'm not sure. And we also have, let's do the other comparison with, what is it, Courtney Daniel, who is just a bit more of the physical and defensive option. So we do have another option in that left back spot if we get found out with Riddle's physical frailties too much. But obviously Wardlow is the better player. So I'm saying Wardlow overall is probably the best player out of the 3, but it might make sense to just say no and wait if something better pops up. Because I don't really like what I'm seeing about his personality. Full determination, doesn't like big matches. Is susceptible to injuries. But, you know, you never know. Maybe you're just going to get worse stuff back from your director of football from then out. So I think Wardlow might make sense. So Riddle can play all the way down at left-hand side. Can't play in the middle, and at 34 is not going to be willing to learn it. So the contract would be 50 euros appearance fee, which I think is the highest at the club. I don't know how much that would cost us in terms of our weekly wage budget. I would be guessing somewhere between like 40, 50. Or maybe it's already considered in the committed spending. I don't know. It might already be considered in the committed spending, so it might just be 30. I feel like we should pull the trigger. I feel like we should get him in. I'm not sure if we're going to have another better option pop up. He also got a bit of potential still left in him. So he's currently a good Love 41 Premier Intermediate League player, and Scouting Report considers him to maybe even be able to be a championship player, so the division above. So if there's no one in the chat who wants to put in a veto, he's got the runs to put the ball down the left and avoids using weaker foot. I think we're going to pull the trigger and say yes to the Kai Wardlow signing. I mean, Wardlow can of course play further up as well, but his forte, I think, is defensively, with 7 marking 12 tackling, 5 positioning, not that much, but 10 concentration is very high for this level. Okay, Hassan confirms to go for it. No one else says anything. Towards the opposite, and I think we're just going to hit accept and bring Mr. Kai Wardlow into the club. So that is kind of like the fast signing this summer, where we can say this is an undoubted certified starter for the club, unless they're bringing another insane left back. As we wanted 1st of July, we wanted to check if Mr. Oscar Ed is still available for loan, because we had a look in the stream earlier today if any of the players we have on our shortlist from our former club would be available for us or sensible for us to get in. But Molander and Kasper Larsen are really fit in terms of the position and role we need, nor does Valan Gashi really. Not quite the kind of striker we're looking for, but Oscar Ed would definitely make sense. He's still loan listed. Let's see, would there be any interest from them? Ed would need to have played more than 60% of games for his country in the previous 12 months to automatically qualify for a work permit. Okay, so we wouldn't qualify for a work permit. We will still try it. They don't want us to pay any money. Midfielder, centre, ball winning midfielder. That's exactly the role we want Oscar Ed in as well. So I think we'll just suggest those terms. Finalist offer. I don't know. I think the work permit is going to prevent us from getting him in. But we might as well give it a try and see if he would be interested in coming to join us. And then we will be reunited with one of our former players. Okay, Wardlow comes in. We have a session with Mitchell to hopefully give him a warm welcome. And yeah, welcome Mr. Kai, and then a Northern Irish player in. So a quick look at what we wanted to train. I think we'll keep him on that fullback on support role. And in terms of things we want him to train, we could ask him to push the ball past the opponent because he's got that 13 pace, but I feel like we need a bit of acceleration for that at 8. It's not quite it. Marking and positioning, moving up would also not be a bad idea. How tall is he? 176 centimeters. So those physical stats are okay for that. Not ideal, but okay. We're gonna go for that defensive position. It is, his main job is defending at the end of the day. So hopefully he can work on that a little bit. So we make an offer for Mikey Wood, Queen's University, our big rivals. And he does not look too inspiring, but we will consider it closer if the offer goes through, if he accepts it as the supporter performance review and the board performance review sees it as a C, which I think is harsh. I think we should be higher, but that's okay. Worry is the only person supporting us, which I don't understand why some people stopped doing so. As all the new guys are in a social group together. Brad Liep still hasn't found any friends, poor guy. And yeah, everyone seems in good spirits. As the board have allowed us to get another coach in, so we'll see what our director of football does with that, if he brings anyone useful in. And once he has decided on that, we'll do the staff responsibilities anew. We haven't done that yet since the turnover in staff. Hopefully brings us in a new, decent assistant manager. I'm very, very sad that we had to let go of Terence O'Hara. He was a very good option for that role. But it is what it is. Just have to deal with it. As the loan offer has been accepted from Trollhättan's side, we'll see what Oscar Ed says. But I'm still not sure what that means for his work permit. That's not going to be a problem now. As we have a new signing press conference. Oh, we haven't done one of those yet in Football Manager 23. Neil Stewart is in attendance, and when Neil Stewart comes around, we'll go there. Let's see. How satisfying is it to have completed the signing of Kai Wardlow? I'm always satisfied to conclude transfer business, and this is no exception. I'm delighted to welcome Kai to the club. Yeah, exactly. Well, butter Kai up a little bit. How important do you expect Wardlow to be in becoming the foundation at the back for P.S.N.I? Very important. He's a rock of a player. Will Wardlow be able to give P.S.N.I decisive edge in big matches? I'm not going to put too much pressure on him because he is a bit prone to those big matches. I think he's going to make us better. How do you expect the squad to respond to the signing of Wardlow? Hopefully good. Uh, it's a sort of deal that lifts everyone's spirit and encourages positivity. As you can see, Kai Wardlow is very happy. What is Wardlow's best position in your opinion? I don't think it's controversial to say defender left. Presumably that's where he'll fit into your side then. He'll play mainly there, but he may be... No, that's the plan. Yeah. Do you agree that the signing is something of a coup for P.S.N.I, given the relative status of the player and of the club? Does he have a bit of a reputation, or is it just because he's a quality player joining us? Like, he doesn't have any reputation to speak of whatsoever. People may be surprised, but I think there's evidence of the fantastic progress we are making as a club. Does Kai Wardlow have any existing friendships in the P.S.N.I squad, and do you think he'll be able to settle in quickly? Oh, he's already making friends. We're all here to give him the warmest of welcomes. Will Kai Wardlow find it easy to join in with the squad's social groups? Are you aware of different fractions and the like? Of course, we'll help him, but he has to cultivate those relationships and make new friends himself as well. As that hasn't gone down well with him, but you know, we need to call him out for that. Does the role Kai Wardlow favors most fit into your current tactical approach? Yes. Does Kai Wardlow have the capacity to perform in different roles? Yes. Okay, thank you very much. As Neil Stewart's respect for me has diminished? No. No. No, we're only close with Neil Stewart now. Is dinner cancelled next Friday? Oh no, we worked so hard for Neil to like us. He hated us at the beginning of the show, but we went to every press conference to butter him up to hopefully like us. Oh no. I'm a bit heartbroken now. Okay, let's continue. And we're going to have a recruitment meeting on the 10th of July. This is going to be quite interesting to see how that works when we're not in charge of recruiting. If they kind of give us options. He didn't like that one. Oh, no. I don't know what he wasn't liking about it. Maybe I was too positive. He's a devious character, so maybe he likes a bit of drama, doesn't he? So yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what a recruitment meeting looks like when the others are in charge of transfers. Whether they offer you like, would you be interested if we signed that player, or if it's just going to be the same? They give me a lot of options, and I just tell them, yeah, you take care of that. That's your job. This club, I just work with whatever you give me. It's really relaxing not to have to worry about making the right transfer so much. You know, we just say yes or no at the end. I like it. Ooh, I'll be like to go in talks with Nkunku for a new deal. That's interesting. I thought he would have joined a bigger club by now. It's not going to affect us anytime soon. Those kind of players moving. Training schedule for the next week is nothing, of course. Expected goals, or XG, is a metric measuring the quality of a shot based on several variables, including but not limited to shot type, shot angle, distance from goal, and the position of defending players. What did you mean by shot type? Do you mean like side foot or volley, or what do they mean by that? Fortnightly staff meeting. Let's attend that. Roy McLaughlin is too old for the reserves, but as he'd be a little bit more than a fringe player with P.S.N.I, his playing time should be closely monitored. Okay, so they recommend to move him to us. We'll leave him down there for now because I think it's better for his training, because they have a better setup in terms of coaching, or a similar setup in terms of coaching. Then like our responsibilities are shared better. Need to pay close attention to Jamie Massey. He has been training well and showing signs that he's making fine progress towards realizing his potential. We love to see that. As reportedly, he's now a level 1 PIL standard player and could still improve a lot. He's capped at under 18th level as well, so he could be quite a player for us. Nathan Riddle has taken a bit of hit over the last 6 months. Tony Tumulty has as well. They are tumbling in terms of quality. Jack Graham has improved over the last 6 months and has gone from being a leading central defender in most 4th tier sides to being a decent player at this level. That's good to know. Keep it up, Mr. Jack. And that was the staff meeting. Always very thrilling stuff, the staff meetings. Just 6 more days to the recruitment meeting. I just hope he makes some moves for a right winger. He hasn't shown any signs of that. Central midfielder would also be desperately needed, but A, we might have Oscar Ed coming in, and B, we at least have the numbers there. But a right midfielder, we just have one player who can play there, as apparently he's looking for a left midfielder, Thomas Burns from Rosario. Oh, that's in Northern Ireland. That sounded so, they called the Roses, that's cute. Sounded so, I don't know, Argentinian. Okay, Thomas Burns, and you know, we talked about it, we wouldn't mind having like a proper starting left winger rather than James Clark, but we'll see what he has to offer. He's a very similar profile to James Clark, a bit better off the ball. Should it come to it, should that deal come to pass, we will assess it then. As Mikey Wood has rejected us, instead signed a new deal with Queen's University, which, if anything, even though we didn't really want him, just hurts my soul, because he decided to sign for our rival club again instead for us. But I do understand that he probably just wanted to keep on playing at the dub week in, week out. We can't offer that anymore. Heading is a player's competence in every situation. Heading applies to all situations and is only about the player's ability to head the ball well. Jump and reach, height, and to a less extent strength all play a part in combination with heading to utilize the attribute to greater effect. Very interesting, you know, because when you read heading, sometimes you think this guy is going to win all the headers, but obviously doesn't have much to do with that. As Oscar Ed has rejected the opportunity to play for us, which is fair enough. I understand why he doesn't want to change from the third tier of Swedish football, this is the third tier, right, to the third tier of Northern Irish football. He's feeling well and at home there. But it was worth a try going in for him. As we don't have any more friendlies scheduled, I leave that in charge of my backroom staff, but I do think it's time to set some up. We've got the schedule for the new season. We're going to start pre-season in like 20 days time. You can set up some more. Come on, guys. I think the email back then said that we would return at the pre-season on the 27th of July or something along those lines. Paul Stewart have brought in a new manager. Let's have a look at like managerial changes in our league. So season preview. So our predicted finish bottom is not greater. Colin McCallworth is going to stay there after 3 years in charge. Brandbridge, of course, in a new manager halfway through the season, who managed to save them on the final day. Tobermoor have brought in a new manager, Colin McIlwain. He looks very good. Look at that! What is he doing at this level? What was he before? Albert and Foundry. Okay, somewhere in the lower leagues. Although before then was in Harlem and Wolf in the second tier. So he's been around a bit. Then there's us. Paul Stewart, Paul Traynor is completely fresh. He was at Crumlin Star, where a couple of our players transferred to before. And at Loyola Park as well as a player and a manager. He doesn't look too good, so I'm not too worried about him being in the league. Armagh, still working with the same manager they have been having for 5 years. Connor Crossan came in halfway through the season for Ballymacash. Crew promoted have had the same manager for 6 years. Queen's University have James Lavery in charge still. Andrew Law. Loyola Park got Graham Arfin halfway through last season. We'll see if he can do better for them. And Dollingston have had Stephen Upwitchell in charge for 6 years. Okay, not that much interesting stuff going on there. I thought this could be more fun having looked at. They do need to set up more pre-season games. They are important for fitness. Yeah, well, like if they completely screw it up, then we obviously we'll deal with it. As I don't know if this is bad or good news. Ben Mitchell has just agreed to stay here, which is of course good because he's a good player, but only under the condition of being an important player. And he's not going to be. I didn't plan for him to be. It looks like he's going to be now. But that's poor work from McCruden. He should have realized that just a couple of weeks before, or a month before I offered him this contract, I clearly, intently, after the end of the season, lowered his squad got status, but what happens if we change it back to regular starter at least? Just complain about. We'll lower it down to regular starter, and he won't be as complainy, hopefully. But yeah, that is frustrating. As Barnes is set to join us, Thomas Barnes on the left-hand side. Now we will compare him to James Clark. Where is he? Clark James, but I'm not sure if we need Mr. Thomas Barnes. Like, if we got another signing down the left-hand side, I'd like it to be someone who actually genuinely improves us. Okay, nothing major here. Very strong and weak in terms of right foot. He's got a bit more versatility in terms of positions. That's always good. Physical stats, they are kind of very even, has to be said. Thomas Barnes wins minimally because his pace is a bit more important than his jumping reach, I'd say, in that position. Scott definitely got the upper hand in terms of mental stats. You can't argue with that. It's that 4 anticipations, a little bit better. 6 composures, a little bit better. 12 decisions over 6 decisions is huge. 15 determination, I like that. Bit of flair about him at 9 as well. Okay, maybe he's a significant upgrade. Maybe we'll go for Thomas Barnes. 8 off the ball, I love that. Technique 10 to 12. Passing just down at 3. Disappointing. He does 5 first touch, 2 finishing, 7 crossing, but that 8 dribbling. I think Thomas Barnes is the better player. Good signing, I think, says Hassan in the chat. Yeah, I think so too. What's the deal saying? Regular starter, 40 years appearance fee. Fine, if this is saying that's fine. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. There's no good reason not to bring Mr. Thomas Barnes in. Let's accept that deal. And now we're kind of stacked on the left-hand side, both in left back and in left midfield. Got a lot of good options there now. I like it. So there he is, confirmed. We'll ask Mitchell to welcome him. It would mean a lot to Burns and you welcome him. Because Mitchell hasn't complained about me dropping his squad roll by 1. And yeah, let's set up Tom Burns' training. Attack midfielder left, winger on attack. And then you can... It's left footed, not left only. That's good enough for me. We don't need to work on that. I feel like he's going to learn to push the ball past the opponent. We can't do that now as we're not training right now. So in the meantime, maybe work a little bit on your fast touch. I would appreciate that. And yeah, new starting option down the left-hand side, I guess. Again, as there's a preseason reported on Knockbrader. Good to see. As they only have 4 players. Or maybe that's why they got relegated. Seems to be something rather incomplete in the database with a second tier Northern Irish side having just 4 players to begin with. So we make an offer for Cowell and Ward. Good player. Not actually what we're looking for that central midfield spot, but we were saying we wouldn't mind a new attacking midfielder coming in, and he is saucy. He's very saucy. Make it happen. From Irvinston. Make it happen, PT. Okay, a new signing unveiling, and Peter, a new student, is just respectful of me, so we'll see if we can turn him around and also give Thomas Barnes a good welcome. Can Barnes provide a difference maker for your team? We certainly hope so. Will you be changing formation to ensure Thomas Barnes gets to play in his best role? I know how good he is. I'll make sure we do know. If we need to tweak a few things to make sure he improves us as a team, I'm sure we'll make that know. This is a two-way street, and as much as we'll help him, he has to adapt to this club too. How do you plan to get the most out of a player like Barnes? We know what he does well. It's my job to just help along the way. Do you think This is the type of signing that will help P.S.N.I realize its long-term club vision. Yes, definitely. I think this shows off our intent. If we want to make our long-term goals happen, we have to improve. Is Barnes a signing that moves the club closer to realizing their long-term objectives? Oh, do we not just say that? Yes, he's a player who can help us immediately and hopefully for the foreseeable future. What do you think was the driving force behind Thomas Barnes wanting to come to P.S.N.I and work with you? I'm just a lovely guy. You know this, Neil. Like me. I have great respect for Thomas and look forward to working with him. Okay, our relationship with Neil Stewart hasn't changed, but something must have happened over the summer. His wife must have been in his ear, everything. Hopefully now they focus on midfield and right attacker and maybe a striker. Yeah, exactly. But right midfield is the most important of those three. As much as I don't want Aaron Cochran to be our starting central midfielder, at least we have a couple of options there. Right winger, we still only have one single player who can play in that position. Look at that. It's just Bradley Yip. Like, even if I go to add here and senior squad, there's not even a best suited section. Let's actually go through this real quick and clean up a bit. As Ben Mitchell is our left-hand sided option. Thank you very much. Yes, like that. Kai Wardlow goes atop of that, obviously. Thomas Barnes is not going to be considered for here. No for here. More for out here. Maybe we want to move James Clark down to the B team. In the meantime, could Nick Tarkington, could he play somewhere else? He can play in that midfield spot. But you know what? No, he's not good enough capabilities defensively. I was thinking of making him a defensive midfield, like central midfielder. But he could do a job there. We'll consider it. We'll consider it once it like we're towards the beginning of the season and we need to properly set up the team. But for now, we'll hold our horses. But it's a thought worth considering. I think he's not that good defensively. He mainly lives off his like aggression and physical attributes. But he's a fighter, Nick Tarkington. We saw that towards the end of the last season. In very big matches, he showed up. So I wouldn't mind having him play a couple of times still, even though not being a main starter because he's just not good enough technically. I believe in the Barnes impact exactly as apparently we're still looking for a left back. I don't know what we're still doing in the market for those. Actually, let me stop the left winger focus. We are definitely happy with the options we have out there now. These three we're still very much interested in. Again, if we don't get a striker in, that's fine. We have seen that both Jake Moore and Chris Watts are very capable scorers at this level. I feel like there's space to get a better player in, especially from what we saw in the January window where our Peter McCrone was making offers left, right, and centre for strikers. Tubermore have made an approach for Jack Graham, and in response to that, Peter McCrone already given him a new contract offer. Hopefully that does not include making him a star player or something like that. Jack Graham is very much planned to be a backup this season, but we can only wait and see. This is a bit unfortunate. We can't like confirm contract offers. We could like withdraw the contract offers, but that would kind of be undermining Peter McCrone's main status, and we don't want to do that. He's the boss around here for now. Ooh, knock on the door. Yes. Thank you very much. You're the best. My girlfriend just bought me a punch. Like, she didn't hit me, but like the drink we drink in Austria and Germany and stuff like that to keep ourselves warm in the winter. Alcohol free, because I'm a little kid who just loves sweet drinks. But nice and warm because our heating isn't working. Oh, delicious. As we're almost at that recruitment meeting, I'm so excited for it. Cannot wait. Service room, yeah. Room service. Sorry. Room service. Yeah, I asked her if she's making herself a tea later, if she could make me a punch. And She came through and delivered. Every preseason you have the option to order intro squad friendly. I'd like one of those, just like any sort of friendly. Apparently beginning of preseason already on the 17th. Could we arrange some friendlies, please? And are we looking for a new coach, by the way, or not? And Real Madrid offered 100 million, apparently, reportedly, for Declan Rice in the game. Interesting. Yeah, preseason is around the corner. And look at our schedule. We still have only the one game against foreign points scheduled. Is there any signs of us bringing a coach? No, apparently not. Hopefully that changes soon. Okay, Monday has arrived. Recruitment meeting can only be minutes away, hopefully. As we're in for an offer for a centre back youngster, which, you know, never necessarily a bad idea, but not sure how much we need him. And also recruitment meeting comes around in preparation for the upcoming transfer window. What do you mean upcoming? It's been ongoing for 2 months. 1 month. We have arranged a recruitment meeting to determine our strategy. So McCrowden, our director of football, is here. And you have McCurry, our chief scout, and the chairperson Ken Green. Meeting agenda, squad planner, plan the squad for the upcoming season based on the current primary tactics, player status, examine the stats, players' contracts. Okay, set recruitment focus. Okay, let's attend the meeting. To begin the meeting, you should set up your squad for this season and outline your intentions. Okay, I feel like we've already done that. Oh, well, quick click through, but I feel like everywhere where we're lacking either options or quality, we've already set a recruitment focus. What do you mean there's no recruitment focus currently set for this position? Of course there is. At least I thought there was. I'm going to turn a half the kind about you want someone who's got a bit of class about him, please. What do you mean? We just set the focus. Odd. Okay, you only got the right winger focus. Just take out that attack midfielder. You know, we could go for one. Would not be bad, but it's fine overall. Show full squad view. Hide full squad view. Okay, can I go back to all the focuses? Why does that? Okay. Let's go to expiring contracts. This is broken. First of all, here are the players whose contracts are about to expire. Okay, no one. Thank you very much for that update. Here's a recap of all players we're looking to offer for transfer or loan. Those checking interest or that should be moved on are highlighted, and there are no applicable fast-team players. There will be suggestions from other squads at the club. So they want to get rid of Daniel Courtney. I kind of disagree with that. Let's discuss. You should transfer this Daniel Courtney. I don't think transfer listing him is the right approach. It's not like he's asked for a lot of game time. He's our second, third choice left back. That's fine. Attracting interest. Okay, can't really do anything about that anyways. Jack Bryce, Jack Graham, John McGill, Ben Mitchell, and Jake Moore. Listed players and transfer activity. We know what's going on. Let's skip through to recruitment focus. Okay, they're looking for a right midfielder. I mean, honestly, I'd rather. I'd rather be looking for a right winger, but you know, if he's like a bit more advanced. But if you look for that and we find someone, we can just retrain him. That's fine. Ongoing created by. We should make a change to recruitment focus and get more recommendations. I don't know what you're saying, but you're the boss. You do whatever you want. Okay, and meeting. Good. Thank you. That was very productive. More or less. So apparently we've got those 2 focuses now. They both still don't apply for this position, which I don't understand why that happens, but okay. Continue. So that was very helpful. Ooh, strange crib follow. Thank you. Thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the channel. I'm quite unsure what about this stream convinced you to follow me. It's a very slow pedestrian paced one, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I hope to see you around here more often. We've got 1 more week until the beginning of pre-season. Still no more friendlies scheduled. I'm tempted to just go in and do it myself, but I also just want to see what happens if we leave it up to our backroom staff. Maybe just no one feels responsible because we don't have an assistant manager right now. Maybe that's the reason why it's not happening. I don't know. Because Real Madrid are splashing the cash on Premier League players. We just saw them make a 100 million bid for Rice, as it pops up there again. And now 113 for Gabriel Jesus after he just joined Arsenal for like, was it 30 million a year ago? Let's see, where is he? Gabriel Jesus. What does Football Manager say? 52 million, okay. Okay, but for more than double that a year later. That would be unusually bad business of Real Madrid of late. I've been very smart in the transfer window in recent years in real life. We'll wait until the final moment with the setup of the pre-season matches, you think. Who is in charge of setting up friendlies? It's one of those you can't really set up, is it? Like, you just tick a box, like, assistant is in charge of it. Maybe that's the reason, maybe it's because my assistant needs to be in charge of it. Let's have a look at that. As we sign a goalkeeping coach with the last coaching spot. He's okay at least. Got a fickle personality. 170 euros a week is so much money for this level. Cormac Ive. So we're not gonna. We can set up our staff responsibilities now, anyways, because we're not gonna have an assistant. So let's just go through all of them. Staff. Okay, manage team selection. That's fine. Recruit directors. We'll just set all the recommended staff member. We'll go through all of these. Set all the recommended staff member. Set all the recommended staff member. And set all the recommended staff members. Same with contracts, please. I don't think anything changes here by us doing this. I think they all stay in the hand of our director of football, which makes sense. Advice and reports. Recruitment goes from our director of football. That's fine. Providing scout feedback. We'll leave that to the chief scout. Development. We'll give that to Kyle McDowell, I guess. Player provides reports. Provides player reports. We'll also give that to Kyle McDowell, who looks like he's the best one out of them. Provides youth development information. William Bell is ahead of youth development, so he should. Loan feedback, that's fine. We don't have anyone out on loan, nor do I think we will. Coach advice is Kyle McDowell. Staffing, Peter McCrowden. Okay, that's all good. Scouting, settle to recommended staff member, or chief scout, that is. Transfers and contracts. Okay, now we'll leave all that in the hand of the director of football. Media, we'll keep stay in charge of. Let me set that to recommended staff member and then take control of this one again. Okay, confirm those changes, even though I don't think we changed anything. Recommended, good. And here we go, match. This is the one that we were wondering about. Least friendly matches, it's going to be Carl McDowell. Sure, actually, I'd like to take control of that. But backroom staff range friendly matches, so you can't set that up. It's just kind of like backroom staff. So I'm not sure what to do with that information. This touchline instructions reserve, Chris Brown, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we'll take charge of the friendly matches just because, like, for the beginning of it, because we want to make sure the players play in the right position and train a bit of the tactic changes, like test them out. We're not going to watch them properly. We're just going to go through like only commentary highlights of it. I think as Matthew King signing would be confirmed, he would come in as a future prospect, get a 25-year appearance fee. Look at the finances. Okay, that would be absolutely no problem. And he's one of those centre backs who don't really have that frame. 8 jumping, which is kind of okay actually, to be fair, but only 5 heading. You know, I don't mind him. Not a bad player. He's susceptible to injuries. What do we know about his personality? He's media friendly. Don't really know, to be honest. He's just, I feel we've got so many of this kind of centre backs. So look at the squad planner. So here we got our like main 2. And actually, we don't have that many of those kind of centre backs anymore. It kind of depends also what Jack Graham does, who has got a bid in for him. Do you know what? We'll just delay it. We'll think about it and decide on it in a week or 2. Don't really feel like making a decision right now. So yeah, we're just gonna see. We're just gonna keep on progressing and see when our backroom staff finally act upon setting up friendlies. We also haven't received any invitations since that Warren Point invitation. The only friendly we have set up was the one when they invited us, and I figured, yeah, I'm not gonna say no. Dream Hudson says delay it. Yes, yeah. As oh, yes! Oh, let's go! Caden Ward. Not necessarily a position we were looking for, but one we will take undoubtedly because he is quality. And you know, we were kind of lacking in the attacking midfield position. Tony Tumulty done a good job there last season, but he has dropped off quite a bit in terms of he's 33 years of age now, and he's never been quite like a huge player for us. We will, before we pull the trigger, make the comparison as well. Mr. Tumulty, Tony, TT. Okay, so report says they both hate big matches. He's got a bit of a competitive streak, so he might pick up more yellow and red cards. Got good consistency, fairly ambitious. I'm not sure what I should think about that. He's left-footed instead of Tony Tumulty, who's right-footed, so we're getting a couple of left-footers in, and never hurts. He has got, you know, a little bit better physical stats. Problem though with Tony Tumulty is that he would drop massively in terms of his physical stats anyways. He doesn't quite have the jumping reach, which Tony Tumulty had, 10, but I've never seen it really put to that much use to us, other than with defensive headers. So that's fine. Doesn't have the aggression, nor the composure, which is a bit sad, because I feel like that would make, you know, a lot of sense, especially if you want to play it as an attack midfield on attack this season. But other than that, he just looks different gravy, to be honest. 8 and 11, 18 work, 11 work rate. Look at the step up in technical stats. He's also decent on a set piece with 6 corners, 6 free kick taking, 11 technique. I know you're thinking that's not that good, but for our level, that's absolutely fine. He's got good leadership, so eventually he might turn into a bit of a leadership figure at the club with 14 determination as well, and a fairly ambitious personality. I think we're taking Cardboard. Man is quality, says Hassan, and for this level, I think that is absolutely true. In a position as well where we didn't, you know, we weren't necessarily desperately looking for someone, but we're definitely happy to kind of take someone on. And Kalen, how do you say that? Colin Wall is going to come in and be that guy for us. Level-headed media handlers as well, which speaks of a good personality. You'll love to see it. Welcome to the club. Definitive quality. Yeah, thanks for confirming my thinking. as he comes in from Evanstown. I don't think they are within the playable leagues. He's rated at 3.5 star current ability. I would argue he's actually really one of our better players around the club, but I mean that's not like it's a bad current ability. Now, as I say, I would like to make it an attack midfielder on attack this season, and because he's okay in front of goal with that 8 finishing, you know, Tony Templeton maybe is the better option for that, but I think it's a fair enough thing to do that we have a couple of more players breaking forward and looking to score goals. So we will set it up in training. Let us actually say, ask Mitchell to help him settle. I like that it always offers Mitchell. Mitchell has kind of the best personality from what we could tell. So he's a very good option to be that guy for us. Attack midfielder, attack. And we shall, the individual focus of, he's left-footed. You know, in a central role, I never mind him having a bit of a better weak foot, so we'll let him practice on that. And also being a main creative outlay and on the ball a lot, I don't mind him working on his agility and balance either. So I think that's what we will ask him to do for now. Is there anything you want to check with him? I don't really think so. Let's see what that does to our finances. So we're currently spending 218 of the weekly wage budget of 307. So we do still have more than enough space to get in those players we still need to fill the gaps. But we'll see how it comes along. FM Melfi chats for the first time. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the channel. What league are you in? We are in the 3rd tier of Northern Ireland. We're about to start a new season. Within that, we are managing police service of Northern Ireland. We have joined the club midway through last season in our Journeyman career. And have, like, instead of what was feared to be a relegation battle, have put them into a promotion fight. Move into the promotion playoffs, which sadly we lost to the team from the division above, Newington. And yeah, we're just in again now, hoping to fight for promotion a bit more successfully this time, as I seem to have set up my mouse sensitivity higher, and I can't quite get it back to the way I like it. Okay, there we go. And yeah, since we're doing a Journeyman series, we're letting the transfers be done and most things by our backroom staff, because I only want to stay like 2 or 3 years at every individual club, so I feel like it'd be unrealistic to go in, kind of take control of everything, and then just leave it back to them after 2 or 3 years. It's more realistic if they have like people high up in the hierarchy taking charge of it. We do keep, of course, a veto possibility to say no any players coming in and reject any sales. However, at this level, it's not like we're selling anyone anyways, because no one's here on a contract. Everyone's here just on non-contracts or amateur contracts. So it's not like we're in a position to reject any offers, because any time team comes in for a player, you know, they are free to talk to them. As preseason is about to begin and we still haven't scheduled any more friendlies. Come on, backroom staff. I know you can do better than that. The teaming has growing point is in 14 days, but still remains our only friendly so far. We keep on getting updates on Brandon Nelson. Not that desperately interested in him, and you know, if you want to make a move for him, you do it. It's not my role anyways. Backroom staff be sleeping. Hey, they're still on summer holiday. Well, it's 15th of July after all. They're currently having a party in Ibiza or something like that. Recruitment focus update. Okay, thank you for the update. You know, they have gone in for a lot of players, but I really don't feel like they have understood the urgency with which we need an attacking midfielder on the right-hand side. Because we just have one of those. We need someone to back him up, please. Uh, okay, preseason's gonna begin tomorrow. That means we want to look at the training real quick of the players we brought in. If we want to train any traits onto them, and then basically we'll just keep going at it and hope that eventually some more new players are gonna come in and we're gonna get some preseason matches. I think I want to have another quick look at the tactic now that we know which kind of players we have brought in so far. If we want to kind of stick with the changes I thought about initially, or if we want to change them up. Now that we said it, Kai Livingston, they are in with an offer for him, 20-year-old midfielder down that right-hand side. Let's see what he has to offer. My God. Make it happen. He's from Gibraltar. He's Gibraltarian, under 21 international. And fair enough he is. He looks quality. Oh, dearie me. Obviously, he doesn't quite have that pace which we love in our wingers, but 9 dribbling, 8 crossing, 14 fast touch, 11 off the ball. That's unheard of for us. You'd come in from Larne. We're, of course, in the top division of Northern Irish football. Did you play for them last season? Played for them last season 7 times for them. You got an average rating of 7.25. All of them off the bench. 1 assist. We're not gonna get him, are we? Banwich Dojo, also interested. Okay, let's not get our hopes up yet. Oh man. Yes, Graham commits his futures to the club, and he also remains a fringe player, which is fantastic. Hassan is getting excited on Livingston. Like if they confirm that we can sign him, we are gonna get him without hesitation, my friend. But who knows if it's actually gonna happen if we have made an offer for him, which he's not gonna refuse immediately. He'd be a huge player for us. Oh, please, Kai, please. Join us. We would be honored if you would join us. Where's that from? Like a Star Wars thing? I don't know. There's Rory McLaughlin has got some offers in for him. He's currently sitting in our B team, waiting for players to move on so that he'll finally get like a bit more playing time. So I wouldn't blame him if he wants to move on, and there's worse players we could lose. But obviously I wouldn't mind him sticking around either. Okay, we still just have the 1 friendly against Rowan Point. Maybe that's part of the plan, who knows. But anyway, if you get Kai Livingston in, 1 defensive midfielder, well, so good for next season. If we then still get a striker in, perfect, but if we don't, it will still look so good. Okay, here we go. Back from the preseason break. Playing time expectations for new season. I want to let you know the following players as agreed during the club's last contract talks with them. I have new expectations for playing time ahead of the upcoming season. So Ben Gordon now thinks he's a breakthrough prospect instead of a future prospect. That's fine. Breakthrough prospects are absolutely fine. They don't really expect to play. Change playing time expectations for these guys. We're promised a change in playing time, but are no longer expecting us as they acknowledge their current playing time is suitable for their current ability. That's good then. Pre-season fitness report. Following players have reported back in top condition: Tom Hegan, Andrew Fargus, Nathan Middle, Tony Tumblety, and Jack Graham. Good to know. Injury update: William Warry is still out with a hip injury for 5 to 8 months. Code of conduct: we'll let Mr. Kyle McDowell play and pick and then confirm it. Pre-season team meeting. So we are expected to finish mid-table, so that's like the smart thing to tell the boys. But after last season, I'm tempted to say a bit more. We're not going to talk about playoffs. If that happens, perfect. If not, not. I'll say we're going to finish top half. Players don't like that. Come on, that's unrealistic. It's setting us up to fail. Yeah, let's just look for a mid-table finish. Okay, that hasn't gone on well. I'll be aiming to reach Northern Irish Cup competition proper this season. exactly sort of reaction I was after. I don't want to make any promises for now. Was finalized the code of conduct. Excellent. Won't be expecting any issues. So overall, it's still gone well. No, we tried being a bit more ambitious, considering the performances of last season. Obviously, I'm hoping to finish top half. Crew have made an approach with John and McGill, our third choice goalkeeper. Good luck with that. If he leaves, he leaves. If he stays, he stays. Both is fine by me. Conan Ward's individual training is no longer a weakness, but we still wanted to get better. James Clark will improve if he started knocking the ball past the opponent. Definitely, yes. I want to set that up anyways, but thank you for suggesting it. I'll stop doing the attacking movement. Okay, Wardlow, move his ball to his left foot before attempting to dribble. No, I don't think so. His right foot isn't that bad, but thanks for the suggestion. Thomas Burns' game would improve if he tried to develop his weaker foot, as his right foot is a notable weakness. Yeah, no, it's good enough for a winger, I think. However, we will also let him train to push the ball past the opponent. Do it with McDowell. No, we'll do it with Ferguson. Knock the ball past the opponent. Okay, good. Johnny Wilson has improved remarkable amounts in the last 6 months. Good to hear that. Didn't have the impression, but good to hear that. As Ben Mitchell seemingly has done too. Jack Owens has improved. Gone from being a decent central midfielder for the 4th tier sides to being a good one for the 4th tier sides. Good. That's, you know, any improvement's good. And yes, we wanted to go into the new players, see if they want to if we should work on some player traits with them. So James Clark, Kai Wardlow, not really, we said. Thomas Berger we set up. Kalen Ward. Could ask if he wants to learn 1-2s. I feel like that could be a good idea. See if he's interested in that. We'll do it with Bell, I guess. Just play with passing ability. Okay, suggestions. Get forward whenever possible. Okay, let's just not train anything for now. Anyone else? Okay, so Calvin Brownlee, not really anything, and Elliot Wood. Now we don't really have anything for him to train either. Maybe dribble less with 1 dribbling. Okay, then we'll just have a quick look at the tactics. Anything we want to change. So Massey is a goalkeeper on defend. If Tom Hegan comes in, he's a sweeper keeper on defend. That will keep the same. Friars fullback on support, that's fine. I don't like playing with fullbacks on defend, even though we'd be much better at it. Riddle down the left, fullback on support, so that I will more likely be Mr. Wardlow. Let's clean up here and bring, actually, let's bring the players in, yeah, of course. Wardlow in that fullback on support role. That's fine, he's decent on the ball. Although we will remove that instruction now fully. We can bring it in whenever Nathan Riddle plays, but overall, I'm not going to be going for that anymore. They get further forward instruction. Central defense, so we'll be starting with Andrew Ferguson at the left-hand sided spot. And he can continue being a central defender and stopper, that's good. And, well, I think we'll start the season. I want to start the season with Lavorka, but with the playing time promises made to Ben Mitchell, we'll start the season with Ben Mitchell starting. And Taylor Walker will back him up. He'll continue to train on as a centre back defend, and Mitchell central defender defend. As a third option for the centre back role, we will have Jack Graham. That's all good. Ben Gordon can stay on the reserves. With Jack Graham staying, by the way, I think we're not going to accept that young player. He doesn't look too promising, but we'll consider it once it comes around again. And then that central defense, like the central midfielder role, which we want to be a bit more defensive. We could be making a ball-winning midfielder. Cochrane definitely has like the physicality and aggression for tackling. I want to try it out. I want to see how many yellow cards he actually picks up. Does he have a competitive streak? No, he doesn't. So he doesn't get any unnecessary yellow cards. Who's his backup is Louis Blackstone, isn't it? He's also training in that role. A similar situation with that 4 tackling. Does he have a competitive streak? No, good. Then we've got Matthew Hanna, that advanced playmaker role. Of course, he's not going to be starting there. That is going to be, let's park him here. That is going to be Johnny Wilson's role, but he was out for suspension towards the end of last season. He's going to remain an advanced playmaker. That suits him well enough. And Matthew Hanna's going to back him up. Going on to the bench here. Okay. Then we have attacking midfielder Tony Tumulty is going to now be back up. Let's actually get rid of William Worry for now. We will worry about him at another stage. We're going to get Mr. Colin Ward in here, of course. And yeah, we will try and make him that attacking midfielder on attack. See how that pans out. And to back him up, we will have Mr. Tony Tumulty around. And we'll have him around. I should take Blackstock out because he's bad. But I'm going to take Han out because I want one defensive midfielder option around. And Jack Owens will drop onto the resis. Down the left-hand side, Tarkington will go onto the bench for now. James Clark will go onto the resis as a winger for now. And that means, of course, we have 2 left wingers in the backup roles, but we don't have any secondary right wingers, so Bradley Yip will stay in here. Jake Moore stays up front as that poacher. Watts would also be a poacher, but we are still looking for an advanced forward in that striker role, hopefully. Okay. What kind of position is missing here? We're missing a fullback here. Elliot Wood would go in here. So we have Ben Gordon, Daniel Courtney, Jack Owens, and McLaughlin down here. No, McLaughlin is for beating. Okay, so we kind of have like a third option for every positional area as well. So like the central defensive role, we've got a third option there. For the fullback area, we can bring in Daniel Courtney. For the central midfield area, we've got Jack Owens. Just down the wings, left wing, we have like 3 options now. Right wing, still just 1, and striker, still just 1. So really, 1 more central midfielder, 1 more striker, 1 more right winger, and we'd be going into next season so strong. We'll see if we make it happen. In terms of the tactic, so this is kind of exactly how we had it set it up last season. We're going to go in balanced, positive from now on. We kind of always made that change, and I feel like with a bit of improvements in the team as well, we can be confident to always go into games like that. Passing directness and tempo is slightly shorter and slightly higher. Is actually not a bad idea. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Passing to space with a bit more pace down the wide areas now is also not a bad idea. We're not going to play for set pieces. We'll leave all that turned off, so I think we'll just keep it pretty balanced in possession. We will regroup to avoid being called out on the counter. We will always counter. Distribution. We'll continue rolling it out to Ferguson, I think. Could also try and roll it out to the playmaker and hope that the advanced playmaker drops a bit deeper. Not sure how good that works. We might try that in some games. I think we were very successful with this tactic. There's nothing special about it. Since we have more options in our forward areas now, I think we'll go for a bit more pressing. Like trigger press more often. We'll keep the mid block though. Okay, well, no major changes. I thought the new players would make me change my mind a bit more than that. Sorry, I'm sure that was highly interesting to watch me do that. Talk to myself about my tactics and players. And would you believe it? It might actually be the most interesting thing or most exciting thing we'll have in today's stream. Because it doesn't look like we're going to get any earlier pre-season matches. And we're quite a ways away still from the season starting. We're over a month away from that. The Steelers and Suns Cup second round is going to come on the same day that the season starts. I don't know what's going on there. Look how many cups are starting in the beginning, actually. So just on the day that the season starts, we have the Steelers and Suns Cup. We have the Bat McLean Cup midweek of that. Then we have like another league game. Then we have 10 days off before the Co-Anthem Shield first round. Madness. And the Intermediate Cup starts. And like if we progress in all these cups, fixture congestion is going to be absolutely insane. But we want to do well in the cups. Because obviously a good cup run is very good for the team spirit. It's very good for money coming in. Let's see. Still been a good stream. Thank you very much, Hassan. I'm glad that I still can provide some form of entertainment. It's the first time I'm doing like the transfer windows as streams. Normally I do them like off stream because it takes me so long and I really need to take my time with the decisions I make. But because most is done by my backroom staff, I figured we can stream these, and obviously also then we can keep a regular stream schedule, because otherwise I would have like 2 or 3 days off every night I'd play through the transfer window. This way you can just keep killing at it. I'm enjoying it, to be fair. Folks play down left flank, encourages the central midfielder to move closer to the left flank so passes can be focused in that area. This helps create overloads down that side of the pitch and can be used to draw more position players to that side of the pitch. That's interesting. See, this is something, it always sounds like focus play down one side or the other. It always sounds like you should do that where your best players are. But actually, especially if your best player is like a finisher or like an inside forward or something who can get on the end of things, you'd actually focus down the other side, and then hopefully he makes a smart run. So, for example, if you have a Raumdeuter, so a player who's not insanely good on the ball, who's not best physicals or whatever, but who's got really smart movement, focus to play down the other side, and then you should be able to slot him in with a good ball in behind or into a good space, because he'll be able to do the movement to find the space, and a lot of space, more space will be opening up for him. As McLaughlin has decided to leave us, and good luck to him out there. He wasn't going to play a major role for us anytime soon, mainly because of his physicals, really. He's a really good player, really smart player with that 12 composure, 14 decisions, and 11 vision. So I like him, but it's just that physicals which made him never look too good. And he's gone to Island Marie, and good luck to him there in the NAFL Premier Division. Again, no idea what kind of level of football that is, as John McGill has decided to stay at the club as well, so we keep our third choice goalkeeper. So everything's going well so far. Now we got the offer for Matthew King back. We don't need him. We've got enough options in centre back, and the people seem to be interested in staying as well. Sorry, you need to barb real quick. But he's, he would be the youngest player we have in that position. Maybe there's some room to improve for him. What is the scout report saying? Potentially he could have the quality to be a championship player, as a second division player. In Northern Ireland, that is. Not English championship or anything like that. Which makes me a bit more interested, but it doesn't really have that physical frame, that 5 heading. 25. Transfer saying, interesting, Kyle Livingston. Do you know what? We're going to reject it. He probably wouldn't weigh in heavily on the wage budget, but any little bit would help to hopefully make us make one more signing after getting the winger in. Let's see. So currently the committed spending would be 310. If we cancel this one, how much are we going to get back of that? Is it like 5? Is it 20? 310 we were at. Let's go back to finances once it loads in. Okay, so that's got us 12 years back. So that means we offered the right winger quite a big paycheck. Hopefully he accepts it as well, because he would be such a good player for us. A City offer 75 million for Real Madrid's Camavinga. It's a lot of back and forth between Real Madrid and the Premier League, as it seems. Come on, let's solve that worrying position of right midfielder. Kyle Livingston would be such a huge signing for us. It'd be a problem for the opposition. It's the only player we're currently in for. You know, after it really, we still need a central midfielder, a defensive one. Imagine being the first division and then dropping down to the third division. Yeah, really, he was like a substitute for the first division team, done well there. One of the better first division teams as well, from what I understand of Northern Irish football. And then all of a sudden, the only job offers he's been getting was from the third tier, and not for insane money. You know, it's a lot of money for us, but it's not going to be a lot of money for him that we're offering. I think it's like a 75 euros per match played and a star player contract, I guess. But there's that inbox item. Okay, pre-season report for Queen's University. They finished 4th. Good for them. Good luck out there. Although not really, you know, rivals and all. Let's have a look. Has anyone else put a bid in? No, apparently not. But he's still wanted by Banbridge. Banbridge shouldn't have that much more pull than us. You know, they finished 11th, just about avoiding the drop last season. But maybe, just maybe. No. Ah. To check that the contract terms of us, the appearance fee wasn't high enough that we offered, and you know, we saw from our finances we offered like a really huge one. Like the committed spending was at 298, which means like 71 euros being out of it. So that's probably like an appearance fee of 75 euros, which or 100 maybe even, which is a lot more than we like offered to any of our other players. So it's fair enough that he feels like he can earn some more somewhere else. I think he can, but it would have been so good for us. Let's jump into the training and criticize and praise some of the players. Our training ratings aren't as good as they were at the end of last season, but we need to pick up the morale again. Hopefully do that by good on-pitch performances. Most players showing improvements in their game, which I love to see. Of course, means I can criticize them, and criticizing them is a bit more difficult. Aaron Cochrane, we'd like to see more improvement out of. It's quite interesting we see so much improvement. After all, we've just been away from football for a couple of months. We had a 2 months break. I know Courtney, we could see some more. John and McGill as well. I basically just look down here. If it says that they have improved in training, then, or they have improved a little bit, perfect. If it just says that they have been putting in a good effort, I criticize them. If they're not over like 27, 28, 29, criticize them for the lack of development. Like Tamalti, for example, it's not improved, but he's 33, so I won't criticize him for that, obviously. Andrew Ferguson showing worrying signs of decline. He's only got 10 natural fitness, so at 34, turning 35 might be pretty bad. Kayla Moore, we can't talk to yet. He joined us too recently. Greg Bryers, don't like what I'm seeing from him. Tom Barnes, we can't criticize yet. No James Clark. No Kai Wardrow. Nick Tarkington, though. We're not okay with that. Elliot Ward 2. Not okay with that. Let us continue then. We're in for another right back. Sheer Curran looks to have a lot of potential. Curran ability not that impressive. We'll see what comes off it, but not necessarily what we're looking for right now. Come on, we need a right winger. Kai Livingston can't have been the only one who's out there, even if he was the main one. Can't have been the only one. If he would have come in, I would have been so confident for this season. South Africa manager to leave his post. Not a job I would be opposed to, but probably not anytime soon. We're in for a striker, Matthew Heron, and we talked about we wouldn't mind getting a new striker in. Not priority number one, but he can also play winger. And with 8 crossing, 11 dribbling, and 15 acceleration, I would have no qualms about parking him out on the wide area. So let's get him in. Let's get him in. Get him in. We're coming from Lana Tech. What is that? Old Boys. Very nice. Nicknamed Attack. Love the club names around Northern Ireland. Let's make it happen. Mr. McCroden, let's make it happen, please. You know, as much as he's nowhere near as good a player as Kai Livingston, he might just be just as effective, because that kind of acceleration, the kind of burst and lemon dribbling at this level, it can just hard defenses. You know, even if he's not nowhere near as smart, nowhere near as you know, as good technical with his deliveries or anything like that. That's all you need to really, really hurt a team. 15 acceleration is huge at this level. Let's make it happen. So we're just 6 days away from our first preseason game. Exciting times. I don't think we'll get it in today's stream. Finish up in like 10 minutes time. We will be back with 2 more streams tomorrow. Sunday though, I should warn you, Sunday I'm taking the day off. You know, streaming every day for at least 4 hours a day, a bit more even at the beginning of the week. And Sunday is just a bit of a family day. My grandma's celebrating her birthday, so we're all driving out there. I've got ice hockey practice on Sundays as well. And also I want to spend some more time with my girlfriend. So Sunday I'm taking the day off. So Sunday, if you're also boycotting the World Cup, you just have to be strong. You can watch some VODs of mine, or you can just look for some other things to get yourself distracted. If you're watching World Cup, of course, have a good time doing that. But I will not be live on Sunday. We'll be coming back strong on Monday, and obviously from then on, like after Monday, there's only 2 fixtures a day, and we'll try to always cover them, always be live when they are going on. Like there's still 4 fixtures a day at the end of the group stage, but only 2 time slots because they're playing parallel. So we'll try to always be live for that. Before that happens, we've got a bit of a slower schedule as well. But tomorrow we'll be live again for the last 2 matches of the day. So 5 to 7 and 8 to 10 is the plan. I'm not going to be streaming that Sunday. Not this Sunday. I'm gonna leave out. Just take a day off of streaming. Because I've got so many other things going on this Sunday. And yeah, it's good to have a day where you're just relaxing sometimes. As much as I enjoy my time streaming. There's nothing going on right now. We're just getting pulled out of our advances without any relevant information being thrown away. I don't like it. Scout report against Warren by a point good. Oh wait, Warren Point are in the top division. And we're playing them. Are we mad or something? Who got the idea of that? Hassan agrees. I think that's with me saying Sunday or like once a week you should have a day off. Yeah. It's always good. Calm things down a bit. Relax, recharge your batteries, come back stronger the next day. Players are more likely to take mentoring if they have a good social connection with the players they work with. So that suggests you should only have players mentor in the same mentoring group if they're also the same social group, I guess. It's good information. That's what I mean. Hints and tips. Seems so simple. Actually really good. So Shea Curran, the right back, has confirmed he'd be willing to join us, but I think this is a pretty easy decision. Again, 14 acceleration. Really good. We could like retrain him to be a right winger. But he's primarily an offender. So I think it's an easy decision. We've got enough right backs in at this stage. He would be a fun and good backup to have, but I feel like we need to keep that money to hopefully spend on 2 more players in other positions coming in, ideally even 3. So we will just cancel that deal. Sorry, Share Current. If you would have come along earlier, I wouldn't have minded bringing you in. But as things stand, it's better to focus our attention elsewhere, I believe. Hopefully we get that striker slash right winger in. That would actually be a good compromise, you know, because you can play striker when you want to bring Bradley Yip in. You can play a winger, of course, when we do not want to. So then we would just need one player to fill those two positions, basically. Getting in two would obviously be better, then we could play them at the same time, because the idea is that both of them would be starters. But, you know, it could be a good compromise if we're running out of money. Then hopefully they'll be starting looking for a central midfielder, because, like, for defensively solid central midfielder, because that has not seemed to be in Peter McCurran's focus at all so far this transfer window. And hopefully it'll also be setting up some preseason friendlies. I could just do it myself, and it's not like I would see it so unrealistic or I'm too lazy to do it. I'm just interested to see what they do. They can't just leave us with one preseason friendly, surely, right? As Hassan just said in that moment, I hope they organize a few more friendlies. Yeah, I hope so too, but I just want to see what happens, to be honest. Like, because it's the first time that we're doing a proper preseason with a team this way, where I'm not in charge of everything. I just want to see what the game does. So we'll just let it happen. Just see what the game sets up for us. Jamie McGinn tweeted that he hopes it is not the last we see of the current deal, but it will be. We will not be getting him in. Inbox message, is that guy coming in? No. So lineup for tomorrow that they recommend. We're going to bring in Lavorka, then over Ferguson, because apparently Lavorka's ability commands a place in team. But Ferguson's even more so. I would have, you know, I was planning to give Lavorka a starting role, but because they gave Mitchell that stupid contract where he's a starter, we'll start out with Mitchell, and once we have an excuse because he's not performed too well, we'll bring Lavorka into the team. That is the idea. And, you know, if he doesn't perform badly, we need to bring Lavorka in, and great, because we've got a well-performing centre-back. So, overall, it's not a bad situation to be in. So I'm afraid I'm going to be a bit of a tease and just leave I mean, it's just a friendly game, so I'm got super giddy about it. But I'm just going to leave that first match of the season, like that friendly match, for tomorrow. We're going to leave it here, so we can have a first quick look at the players. We're just going to go through it real quickly, maybe key highlights, maybe just commentary only, and just watch the goals. And yeah, go through the rest of preseason. Hopefully, I'm pretty confident we should be able to start the season, maybe even on the first stream tomorrow, but definitely in tomorrow's stream. See, that tactical familiarity has dropped so much. You know, we hardly changed something on our tactics. This is quite frustrating, if you ask me. I don't know why they all forgot how to play that style. But nevertheless, yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get a lot more done. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll be shooting through it and starting at least with that cup tie, or like maybe even finishing the transfer window. Pretty confident we should be able to do that. Well, we shall see tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Before we end the stream, of course, we will do our donation to our fundraiser for the Boycott Qatar 2022 idea. I will be donating €5 for now. I think once we get to the more important match days, we will be starting to put in a bit more money. I'll do the client over on the other side so that no one can see my data, just to make sure. And then we will raid over to someone real quick. I know we just have 2 viewers, but whenever we end out the stream day, I don't mind doing so. So if you want to join in for the raid, please feel free to do it. I would appreciate it. As we get the thank you message, which means that our donation has gone through. It doesn't show up here until like a couple of minutes later. But yeah, it's going to be €90 when we start up tomorrow again. Unless someone of you wants to donate, you can find the link in the About tab on my Twitch, on my YouTube, or on my Twitter. For now, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in tomorrow, and let me find a stream to rate for tomorrow. Let's do it together, actually. Twitch.tv. Let's see what's going on. Oh, no, is anyone doing like a boycott event thing that we want to join in? No, just a couple of videos available. Let's not do that then. Let's join someone streaming Football Manager. So obviously that is our game of passion. Football Manager 23. So who's live right now? We've got Arthur Ray, but he is French. Let's go to one of the smaller ones. It's always more fun, isn't it? See what they're up to. And of course, someone English. Oh, that's me. Hello. Okay, some German ones. No shit, it's German. German Youth HSV Season 2. Bundesliga baby. I'm not sure if he's streaming in German or in English. No, it's English. Perfect, perfect. Let's go to Batayakila. Yeah. It's like a fun series he's got going on there. With HSV in the Bundesliga again, where they belong. Start to rate and pop by in his channel. And yeah, we shall hopefully see each other tomorrow again. As I said, we're going to be streaming the 2 late game slots, so that is from 5 to 7 and from 8 to 10. Thank you very much for tonight, and I shall see you then. Goodbye.